Here we go. This is Leon C, aka M. I enjoy doing what I do. I enjoy our time together. I enjoy the conversations that I deliver to you in this red pill that I'm going to give you in just a few minutes. Because I have the opportunity to learn as I am also delivering the message as well. And getting out there and doing the footwork, it's always a fascinating thing. It's always something to see. And the questions that you give me on the often is it's unique as well. And I would ask for you to always share these audios, and support wherever you can to keep me floating above the water. If you don't know my Patreon channel, it should be down there in the description box below. Or you can go ahead and take a look at that empowerment book called 2020 America Rise, Our Fall Hard, available on Amazon eBooks. It's an easy read. But if you have any questions about how to get in contact with Patreon and Amazon, and if you have any confusions about the book, my business email is lowercase letters CLLEON 727 at gmail.com. Now let's get right into it. This is Men Questions Part 3, and ladies, you are welcome to listen in as well. All right. It is for empowerment, and of course, this is Morpheus's version of the red pill. Now, men, we're going to talk about the several things that you encounter on a constant basis, because I get these questions and I'm going to answer it. Men are still asking me, regardless of what we talk about as far as red pill and the warning signs and don't cohabitate, don't get married, so forth and so on. They're still interested in the 3-day rule, and women who talk about sex before marriage. They're not interested in having sex before marriage. At least they say they don't. All right. And so with these two subjects, I'm going to go ahead and answer these questions and combine them together, and we're going to go to the other emailers on to servicing you, my American Neos. First of all, as I discussed before, anytime there is a systematic way of thinking, it is a control mechanism, whether it is for good or for bad. All right. The 3-day rule, meaning the 3 dating rules before you're able to hit home run with your ladies, okay, is not true. That's an ancient myth by women, by grandmothers, by mothers who decided, or shall I say, who have pilfered her way emotionally and otherwise to convince men that that is the expectation of the dating parameters. As this I have described to you before, every person is different, and every person have a different dynamic and a different requirement and a different spirit and a different expectations. There's been marriages who have lasted for at least 54 years. Yes, absolutely. From the first night of dating and becoming consistent from there. There are some who've been dating for 2 dates and they decide to go steady. Of course, you got into a friendship / courtship type of relationship. And then, of course, they begin to escalate from there. All right. The 3-day rule is a nonsense. Now, you could keep it as a rule of thumb as to what Tom Leykis said. Okay, for yourself, for your mentality, for your patience if she decides to donkey dunk with you or not. Because you don't want to be led on. You don't want to be confused. You don't want to misunderstand the message in the beginning of the relationship. You don't want to waste your time. It's either is or it isn't. Either you're going to be a prospect or you're not going to be a prospect. Okay, that's what Tom Leykis was talking about. Okay, so you don't waste your time. Okay, because she will keep stalling, she will keep filibustering and playing games with you and adding even more expectations on you, where you will find yourself investing in something that's not going to be a proper investment for your future. Okay, so you have in your mind that you will only date her for 3 times. Okay, if you do not have the opportunity, or if you have not received a chance to sample the cookies by then walk away. Okay, even then, the basics of it is still the same, that it does not apply to all women and it doesn't apply to all relationships. But should you want to apply that to your life, you can. It will be your choice. But however, your understanding is you got to stop putting your mind in a systematic way of thinking where your westernized civilization or people begin to always say, well, there's a rule to dating. You should court first. You should be friends first. You should do this first. You should buy this first. Take her here first. If you really want your lady to love you, take her to the chocolate shop. Or take her to wine tasting. Take her here, take her there. Okay, you have so many people around your country that is trying to tell you how to handle a relationship that's supposed to be unique and different from all other relationships. All right. Although we have a thing that we say, and it makes a lot of sense that a lot of girls activate their minds the same. They're all using this hypergamy, monkey branching, and they all are inconsistent, which is why we have overstood that getting married and being in a long-term relationship isn't wise, because the majority of them, because of that high percentage of the hive mind of most women who do not realistically want to cooperate in a combination relationship. She don't want to cohabitate herself or be pure bondable, like tacky glue, which doesn't stick. All right. So therefore, in that aspiration, yes, indeed, you would want to be careful, because the percentage of it is higher than it is lesser. Okay. It is more against you, men, than it is for you, men, in the long run. So you have to be able to create your measures on your own and deal with it as it is. Either it is or it isn't. So the 3-day rule is you asking, you say, does it still apply? I would say no. Only if it's based on your expectations, where you're going to tolerate her stringing you along, or you're going to tolerate waiting for something that's not worth waiting for. Because if you understood that the average woman isn't as primed to be virtuous as she used to be, then you're not waiting for anything anyway. You are automatically wasting your time, because what she's making you pay for, she's given away for free since college, since grade school, since high school. All right. I'm talking about the far end of grade school. I'm not talking about when she was a child. Okay? I'm talking about when she was a legal age. All right. Whatever goes on in every other country, I don't know about. That's up to them. That's their business. OK. However, since she was able to do that. All right. And the availability was there. There was plenty of blue pill beta simps such as yourself, who was always willing to be knocking at the door constantly, all the time, waiting for her, to the point where some of the women just left their door open, which is sad. Some of them have an automatic door where if a man stands in front of the door automatically opens up because it senses that he's there. It's that terrible, right? It is. That's realistic. And then you're standing there trying to be like Mr. Good Guy, Mr. Church Poindexter, where you want to play by the book and say, I'm going to wait till the 3rd date. First date, let's figure it out. Okay, we make it to the 2nd date. Okay, that's what she said. So, I know I'm going to get something on the 3rd day, so I'm going to go ahead and wait because I'm the good guy. Right? And you're still going to lose. She's still going to find somebody else, and she's still going to dump you for the next better man, because obviously there is going to be a better man than you, because you're the nice guy who plays by the books. And you've been told multiple times that when you play by the books, you lose, and no woman wants a loser. Okay? Get over it. Now, secondly, men, listen carefully, because this right here is vital that you need to understand. I have been speaking to multiple families in this situation. I have been helping men all over the place with this destruction thereafter. Okay, I have watched men, you yourself see these men on your social media outlets, or they become the high gossip of your town and city. Or they'll tell you that this famous person divorced this other person in a matter of something months, years, okay? And then you're sitting back thinking, wow, all women are like that, and what's going on? You know, marriage is just not the way to go. Well, I'm going to tell you, there's deeper values than that. There is a deeper value than that, and there's something going on in the church as well that I am going to explain to you. Now listen carefully. There is a thing that these women are trying to say, regardless of how retarded that they are carrying themselves and their sense of liberation and making themselves unavailable, or you could say inadequate in a relationship when it comes time for them to settle down because all their cookies and juice is out. Okay, check this out. I just told you, sex before marriage, donkey dunking before marriage. All right. They will say, I will not donkey dunk before marriage. Okay. Now, I am not trying to promote as what some people may call infidelity. What's that the Bible discuss? Fornication, you know, in your biblical text. You know me as Morpheus. I don't care about what the Bible thinks because it's what they think. It's just words of man, not words of God. So I told you before, I do what I want to do. I don't care. You know, I use the Bible as a stump underneath the table. Okay, that's it. Or if I need some firewood, okay, in my fireplace, that will be the first thing to go in there. All right. However, here is your reality, which destroys your Bible. It destroys your idea of, oh, it's sin before you get married. Well, some of you Christians, all right, I know you're not liking this. You don't have to listen to what I have to say, okay, because you don't listen anyway. Okay, are you religious? Okay, and you're thinking, well, I need to take care of myself and I just want to do everything right by God because man says so, because it's in the Bible, so I should do it in my books because, you know, I've been taught this way as a child, so I think I'm going to wait and hold my oaths until I get married. Okay, you be that, while you men who is in the senior year of this class, let's continue on and let those guys get up and walk out and lock the door behind them. Okay, you're going to be their supervisors. You're going to be the boss. You're going to be the CEOs. You're going to be the owner of the farmland. You're going to be rich. Okay, you're going to be financially wealthy. You're going to be set. Let those guys who just walked out, they're going to be working at McDonald's. You understand? They're going to be the ones at home sitting down with their 2 or 3 kids while they're whining all over the house, and their wife is going to be behind them yelling in their ear every 24 hours, 7 days a week, complaining about him just basically sitting there and breathing next to her. Okay, while you are dealing and having the best of the fish, the fresh of the fish, constantly in and out your reciprocating door. All right, so continue. Let's continue and succeed, as they will inevitably fall. Now, check this out. This is why I can confidently say this, because of nature. Morpheus respects nature. As y'all are thinking mythical and religious based on ideology, okay, I go by facts. Okay, I go by what you are, you're in your human corporeal flesh that you ignore most times. Okay, there is nothing on the face of this planet ever that you should ever consider to be something that's going to stand up for the rest of your life if you do not put it through trial and error, if you do not test it. Even manufacturers, car plants, productions, quality assurance programs, okay, and quality checks and products before it gets out of the box, before it even comes to you. And they are testing these items out, toys for children. They're testing cars to see how far it can go. Okay, they're testing ammunition to see if it's safe when you put it in the chambers of your gun so it doesn't explode in your face. Okay, most, if not everything, is tested before it is put in the hands, before it is considered as good or no good. Okay, you have to be out of your mind if you're just going to go to a car dealer and you point out a car and say, well, I want that car, and that's it. And the dealer's gonna be like, yeah, you want to test drive it first? I mean, you can take it around the block. Here's the keys right here. I'll put a dealer plate in the back of it. You should be okay. Oh, no, I'm not gonna test it. No, I'm stupid. Excuse me. No, I just want the car. That's it. Then you find out several weeks later, if not that very day, that you really do not like the car. It's too cramped. It's too small. Steering wheel's too close to your face because you got a big head. Okay? Your knees are cramped because you're too short. You're going through all kinds. Yeah, I twisted it up like that. I said it like that on purpose. So you got all kind of issues going on in the car, but yet it's your fault because you didn't test drive it. Now, I'm not promoting y'all to do this, okay? Because I'm against just donkey dunking willy-nilly anyway, okay? And that you should try to maintain the proper person and do what you need to do. Okay, because it used to be in the past days where it was seldom that would happen and you would immediately find somebody of quality because it was qualified people to sign up for your life or to be a part of your world. Okay, but today, all right, you will find yourself fishing from a barrel with most of the apples rotten. So if you're thinking that you can donkey dunk and test this person, okay, and if it don't work out, you're just going to keep flip-flopping and going on and on and on. You're going to be doing that for a long time because the majority of people out there who have the capabilities of peer bonding and being a decent companion for you in your life, okay, especially because of the marches, the feminist movement, the liberation walks and sense of equality and the fears, destructions and truths and sickness that we have within ourselves, okay, it makes it difficult and nobody trusts each other, which is the biggest thing, and they're dishonorable. The list goes on. I can't even get into that right now because you men understand, and some of you women. Okay, you can't even put your hands on it right now. Your hands will be missing if you put it down there in that dark hole. Okay, you pull it out, the hands is gone, like Scorpion King, gone. It's that bad. All right. So it's not suggested only if you have control of yourself and you understand that there is a time and a place for everything, and the situations variate. Okay, so you might be, when you are in its fair modesty, all right, come across those type of women or people, okay? Whereas you want to make sure that this girl is going to last. Can she rise to the occasion? It will be best to figure it out. Men and women, yes, they are different like night and day. I can care less what the world try to teach you and their false sense of science and what they think to try to be Agent Smith to reprogram you of what you are. Basically, they try to think that you're ignorant. Basically, you got these so-called people around here in your nation trying to reprogram nature and tell you that you're the same. You are two different species altogether. Your chemistry is different. Your design is different. I'm talking about the man and woman. Listen carefully. Your shape is different. Your potentials are different. Yes, you can act the same as the other. Yes, maybe sometimes you can even feel the same as the other, and you can do the same task as the other person, but you are still two different species altogether that require different requirements of existence and nature. Okay, and some of you who are defended because I called you species, just say human. Okay, I'm gonna say human for you since you want to be childish. Okay, grow up. I use that word. Get over it. Now, so because you are two different species, all right, you got to understand specifically that the test is going to be different and you're going to have a different outcome versus you testing the woman tests the man. I'm not talking about SHIT testing that women do for men, even though that's their pretty much generally their only form nowadays without actually being loyal and just being honest themselves, which would be the fair way to do it. Okay, they tip tap because they're programmed to do that by their current new world, or you say the new normal of dating. Okay, men don't fall for that. And if some of you probably come from other MGTOW or Red Pill channels, you know what I mean by the SHIT testing. So I don't need to expand on that. I mean, other people have taken care of that subject. Okay, Morpheus is talking about something different. So here's your thing. Here's your reality of it. Because most times you don't know what you're getting yourself into. There are some people who are fiends for the donkey dunk. There are some people who will, they cannot handle it because they've been donkey dunking since it was available to do so. And therefore, you may have that availability for the first few months. And then after 6 months, 7 months, she'll turn the switch on you, tell you, well, I never liked it to begin with. I just did that because I knew that you liked it. And I just wanted you to be happy during that time. So I allowed it to happen. Did you hear what I just said? And therefore, you're stuck with this girl who you probably married or who's living with you. Peer bonding and, cohabitating. Not peer bond, but cohabitating. And now you can't get rid of her because now she stopped from 3-4 times a week to 1 a week to 3 times a month, all the way down to barely any a month. And now you are hurting, you're starving. And now here comes the arguments. Now she can't peer bond. Now she's bringing up all the energies and the souls that she have absorbed in her synapses from the past few years that she's been alive as a young woman. Yes, indeed. And there goes the domestic violence. And one of you are kicked out of the house. All right. And if all goes well and the court systems or any other type of things around your neighborhood systems aren't involved, then you just have to just go your separate ways, find your own place, apartment, house, and live your life and learn from your mistakes. But some of you men do not. You do not, because you don't understand that her power is her donkey dunking. Okay, that's usually for the majority of them. Okay, so therefore, when you just accept it as it is and you do not evaluate her, okay, you don't evaluate her past, you don't evaluate her potential, okay, thereafter, because, well, I'm gonna get to this, okay. There was a man, I think Jesse Peterson, and I'm not talking down about him, but there's something that he said I'm going to expand on. And some of you didn't get it, but I'm going to give you my interpretation as Morpheus. He said the reason why a lot of marriages fail and people mess up in their relationships and there's no gathering or anything like that is because sex is involved. And he says, steer away from sex and so forth and so on, Okay, I can understand that in all due respects. That's when, that's 1950, 1940 talk right there. That's in the old day. Okay. But the portion of it also, why he would also say that, because it is an emotional drug. It is a dopamine that's released and receptors and reward sensors that you are endowed with when you are with that person, donkey dunking and enjoying their energy. And then there are some people who can't handle it because it's the drugs that your body is promoting. Your body is actually secreting these chemicals through your brain sensors and your nerves and your body to make you feel, and things go on from there. Okay, so you're pretty much a Christmas tree. And when you have a mental illness, meaning you have a disorder in your brain and your thinking in your life, or basically you're just crazy, you bad crazy, right? It will cause either you to want that like a drug even more, where you become an addict, a dangerous type of person, where you just, you lose control, where you want to possess that person. You can't live without them. You want to immediately marry them in a short span of 1 year. Okay, you consider them to be the love of your life. They're the ones you're the best. Oh God, you're the best. You're the best. You're the best. Right? However, that can be destructive because it's deceptive. That's pretty much probably what he was talking about. It's deceptive because you're with that person not because of them. You're with them because they're lighting you up like a light bulb, like a Christmas tree. You're lit up like a Christmas tree in more ways than one. Okay? Whining, dining, a little bit of something between your lips. Okay, you're doing it, right? So it becomes a new life to you. It opens up a world that was never opened up to you. It opens up your endorphins. It opens up it makes your face glow. Your skin is a lot more brighter. Your hair is getting longer. You're feeling youthful. You're feeling like you're alive because of this person. But it's just because of I got another audio, and I'm not going to cut you off here because I know some of y'all are really into it. I got another audio that talks about this that's coming out for you, and I'm going to find the name for you and give it to you in just a little bit. Okay, just hang tight. All right. So you lit up like a light bulb and you want that all the time. Okay, it becomes that much so where it becomes violence when it's getting taken away from you. When it becomes a variation with it, when you're not lit up like a light bulb anymore. So you're willing to fight for that. Okay, and the issue is when you do not get a chance to know that person that they are of longevity, that they have, that they're getting ready to bait and switch you, change on you, cut you off, or they're doing you while they're lighting up somebody else's Christmas tree as well. You know, are they lighting up the whole neighborhood? Like, you know, in the middle of winter, December somewhere, you know, you see all these Christmas trees that's lit up all over the place. And you thinking that you're the only one because you want to be the only one. You want to be the special one. You want to be that only one. That also causes domestic violence. And then here you go, you're upset. All right, you mad. But if you have not even dealt with that altogether, then you wouldn't be deceived by dealing with being lit up like a Christmas tree, which is supposed to be only allotted, and I understand, only allotted to marriage couples. If you're going to get married to the person, or if you just got married, those Christmas trees should be for that time. You should be lit up like a firecracker when you are married. That's the time, and it's true. It is true. I understand that. That is the time for you to enjoy your husband or your wife. That is the time for them to really get back and do some acrobatics in the bedroom. You know, that's the time where she can leave the door open. That's the time where she's willing to be, what do you call that? Helplessly attached. Where she needs you. She's lit up like a light bulb and she doesn't want anything else. She's not interested in anything else. She becomes a fiend for your energy and your positive guidance that you're bringing in her life. Okay? Wine and dine, so forth and so on. Okay? However, even though that is a debt, I already told you the two sides of it, whether it's bad or good, or when it should happen, be after marriage. Unfortunately, people just go for that. They just do the lighting each other up like a Christmas tree, and then they go about their way as if it's no thing, as if it's nothing, as if it's just a thing to do for that particular moment as a modern common. You talk to somebody and say, well, you know, people do this all the time. You know, yeah, I'm dating my boyfriend and dating my husband at the same time. Like, wow, okay, boyfriend, husband, ex-boyfriend, wow. You know, yeah, I got several guys who I spend time with, DMs, special, whatever, hookups, meetups. Yeah, I do that. You know, I meet several people per month, on and on and on and on. The cycle never ends. All right, so that Christmas tree becomes dull because now you're not getting your natural senses lit up anymore. It don't feel as great. Listen, men, it don't feel as great anymore. So she's not so excited because she's been lit up like a Christmas tree all the time. All right. So it's not a new thing to her. It's not a December type of thing where you wait to December 25th. And then you're like, yes, this one day out of a year. I can't wait. You know, the Christmas tree's lit up, presents underneath. And it's a unique thing. You see it through the window. It's great. You know, you realize this is a special time. Of course, that's when it's unique. That's when she have some virtue there. Okay, she hasn't been lit up all over the place. You get the drift of what I'm saying. Okay. However, sad part about it is when, getting back to the subject, when she is lit up all over the place, it becomes normal where that Christmas tree that's lit up in the window, red light district, that's what came to my mind. Wow. The red light district. When it's lit up in the window, like a Christmas tree, you know, she's, you know, doing what she does, lingerie, whatever, Victoria's Secrets, which is not a secret anymore. And she's putting lotion on anyone and everyone, okay, in the worst ways and twisted ways. You look at that Christmas tree as normal now. It's no longer special. It's no longer unique. It's no longer something that is going to be fascinating when it's lit up. Now it's just common. Now it's dull. It's ridiculous. It's pointless. It's useless, and it has no value. So here's the thing, and getting out of this subject, because I can talk about that all day and twist it back, and great honors to Jesse Peterson. Anyway, no, some of those things, all that was my words. The only thing that he was talking about was it wasn't a good idea to do that, you know, at all. And that's the reason why our relationship go downhill. Everything else I said. However, here is the thing when it comes to doing that before marriage or doing it before marriage. Okay. It is a win, and it is now it is a win and win situation. And it's kind of terrible for me to say something like that, but as an experienced teacher and an experienced man and watching the world and sitting back and reading, I realized that I don't listen. Morpheus, I'm just going to talk about me, and I'm going to tell you the schematics about it, why it's not good, and why it destroys the church, why it destroys your idea of, I need to wait till marriage before I get, because I have seen for myself men who, and it's bad because you get thirsty. You want that. You're going to be curious. You're going to want to understand what it is and what it's like. So you got this buildup, right? No matter how many other Christmas trees you have lit up, this one girl who was telling you, no, you really want that one. Okay. And you're dating her. Okay. And you're like, okay, I'm not going to ruin this Christian girl because she wants to wait till marriage. So I'm going to abide by the book. I'm going to do the 3-day not the 3-day, but I'm going to court her as to what her pastor said. And I'm going to do the thing. So y'all dating, courting, whatever else. You may kiss every now and then, and she may sit on your lap. I'm not even going to go there. Stuff happens. Okay. And then you get to that point where you're like, okay, she haven't gave me anything, but yet I know I'm going to be getting it after marriage. Okay. You go down the aisle, you do the exchange, and you spend thousands of dollars, on the traditional nonsense today, which is really silly. I just do not understand and overstand for the life of me why you men are still doing that. It's just hilarious. Most times I sit back and just laugh at you. It's just like, dude, what's wrong with you? Like, you haven't received no red pills at all. Anyhow, it's like, and then wow, I ain't gonna go there. When you do get divorced, okay, I sit back and laugh and say, that's what you get. Cause I just like, you just idiot. Anyhow, so it does happen, and then you find out on the wedding night that it wasn't as great as you thought it was. It's this mediocre, usual, just you probably had better, most likely. You probably had more experiences with others who gave you the runaround. She lit your light bulb. Okay, she put you underneath the tree as a present. Okay, and lit your Christmas tree, and it was lit all day because of her. Okay, but this one, she's like barely a flicker, and you're like, I thought it was. And you'd be like, dang, this is a man. I know an ex-girlfriend that's like this, like wow, and then she's not making any sound. She's not talking back. It's just a occasional, oh, we're married now. Yeah, I love you. Oh, whatever. Ha ha, hoo hoo. Whatever stuff. And then now you're like, man, ain't nothing really different. Like, wow, yeah, we got married. She's Mrs. Jones now, and but I guess legally everybody knows about us by the financial contract, but it's like I'm just like with my girlfriend, like it's not really anything else. Then as time goes on, you put a wedding ring on, and of course you're thinking that she's only exclusive to you. Okay, you didn't even give it a try before, and you begin to realize over time that it isn't so great, and she's really not that great. She don't put her back into it. Okay, and it's just for the moment. And then of course, here we go again. It gets to the point where she flips the script on you, and she'll say, well, I don't really like it all that much. And she starts getting the attitude. You wake up in the morning next to her, and you're like, wow, what did I just do? What did I just do? What did I just do? And now you stuck with it for the rest of your life. And you didn't know that before she repackaged herself as a so-called religious person or Christian, she's going by the books. She's the one who loves the system. She's the one who, when the pastor tell her, the indoctrination programs tell her, when college tells her, amazing how accurate that is when you say the student debt, college student debt is generally for women. Amazing. That's amazing. Okay, so you got all this going on. They abide by the books. They become this good soldier of the state in the country. Okay, they're the first ones to get you in trouble. The court and everything else is always going to abide by them and their emotions. Okay, and I jumped on it, didn't it? Didn't I, Neo? Anyhow, so and now you're in a situation where you never understood that because you never tested the waters before you decide to make this thing permanent. Okay, so you put yourself in the jeopardized situation, and she's like, well, I really wasn't interested. I just did that because that's what the Bible says. That's what the church, that's what my pastor said, because I want to be right by the system of man-made God. So I want to make sure that I'm doing right. Okay, I just wanted to just get married and do things accordingly, because I don't want my soul to be lost. Even though your money's lost. Listen, your money's lost. Your time is lost. Your energy's lost. Your peace is lost, because you got to struggle to get out of that marriage now. Your future endeavor and your advancement is lost, because now you got responsibility like a hot air balloon holding you down. Because now when you think about traveling, going places, building another career, taking risks, okay, being an entrepreneur, whatever that you need to do, now you got a responsibility. Now you got an extra mouth. And lo and behold, if she has children, which most of you, I ain't gonna go there. Most of you blue pill simps do anyway. Now you got her and you got a child. And now you are overladen and burdened because you decide to go along with the system and program. Very, very smart. When you would have known that if you did taste the waters, donkey dunk with this girl and see just what you getting yourself into. So therefore, she don't bait and switch on you, or therefore you'll know it's somewhat worthwhile to do. Especially, listen, and I understand how this works. Some of you don't. Listen, you need to understand her mind and her spirit as well, besides her body. That's one thing, because they all tether together. Because oftentimes when you get into there was a wise thing that somebody said a long time ago, and this was a woman who said this. This was a woman. She said, you do not know the person that you are with until you lay with them under the sheets. You don't know that. And she was right, because they'll put on all kind of faces. They're this geek. They're this, they're this church going girl. They're just regular person, nurse, doctor, whoever else, attorney, whoever she thinks she is. OK, a good student of the matrix. She's fully indoctrinated by the system. Right. But when you get them underneath the covers, it will explain almost everything, because the truth start coming out. Her real personality start being, it's on her sleeve. Okay, she will start revealing all the pains and the hurt that she had from her past life. She'll tell you if somebody hurt her. She'll tell you how much she hated her dad. She really hated her brother. She really hated her mother. The list goes on. She begins to open up to you like a rose. Like a red rose. That thing will open wide open for you. Okay, because you have entered into the central core of herself, because either you believe it or not, which is donkey dunking, or you said the intimacy and relationship between man and woman is a crucial thing, and it's a connection to your soul, as I've described to you before. It is a connection to your soul. Donkey dunking like that and uniting is such a unique thing, where children are made from it. When yin and yang come together, there is going to be another human being created from your unity. It is so unique. It is so special. It is such a powerful dynamic when man and woman come together. You understand? And it's so unique that the universe created it that way, or your interpretation of God. Okay? Therefore, it is supposed to be unique to the point where it's supposed to be like Christmas, where it's one day out of the year. It's unique. It's special. Okay? Or it's like a once of a lifetime type of feeling, although it's more than once in a lifetime, but it's special, it's unique, it's set away. And it is so set away and so sacred, where this is why your so-called church and other people will say, hey, you know what? You should wait until marriage before you get into it.